So welcome everyone. I'm Olga Wheeler, the health coach at Olivia, and today we're talking about how to enjoy Easter without feeling like you've fallen off track, without the guilt, and hopefully without stress or undoing your weight loss progress. So I don't know about you, but it feels like I've just gotten over Christmas and already Easter is here. Another social occasion when food and drink is often a big part of the celebration. So how do we enjoy it without undoing all the healthy habits we've been building? Well, you don't need to avoid chocolate to stay on track. You just need a plan because Easter is not about restriction or perfection. It's about balance. So what we'll cover tonight is why holidays are so tricky, some mindset shifts, some smart practical strategies, a bounce back plan if things do get off track, and we'll have some time for questions as well. So hopefully by the end of this presentation, you'll have a simple plan to enjoy Easter and feel in control, but not overly restricted. Before we start, I'd like to ask if anyone successfully used a particular strategy to stay on track with healthy habits during past holiday periods. What's worked well for you in the past?
I don't know. Nothing.
Nothing. All right, I'm writing down nothing. No one's had any tips or done anything in the past that might have been a good strategy that can be repeated.
I'll just
Avoid
try
it.
and just don't even go near chocolate or anything like that. I'm one of these people, I can either eat chocolate or not, and
Take it
not
or
be
leave it.
deprived. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one way to go. Anyone else?
One of the things that I did Weight Watchers many years ago, and that she was a wonderful leader, and she used to say to herself, "No, thank you. I might have some later," and she would give herself permission to want it or to have it later, should she want it then, but not eat it at the time, and that worked
That's a
not
great
bad.
idea.
So you're not really denying yourself, even though you are, but
in that
you're
moment you
leaving
are,
a
but
little
you're making
window open.
Absolutely. In the moment you are, but you're making a considered decision. So it sort of delays it a little bit, which makes you think about it a bit more. So that's a great way to
And if
go
it's not
ahead.
social, I would find I didn't need to eat it later if I
Yeah.
wasn't eating it just when everybody else was.
Yeah. It does make it hard when other people are eating and drinking and doing all of the things and you feel like you're the only one not doing it. So so a good thing if it isn't a social event to sort of put that there and just create a bit more awareness, which is really good. So great, thanks for sharing that. So why is Easter so challenging? It combines emotional eating, availability of treats, and routine disruption, and it creates a perfect storm for overeating. And this can really be tricky because, as we all know, chocolate is everywhere. Social events increase, there are changes to the usual routine, such as holiday or travel. And then the mindset of I've blown it and I'll start again next week. And let's be honest, weight gain doesn't really come from one day. It comes from a buildup of several days of mindless habits and overindulging. So the first mindset shift is really continuing to aim for progress, not perfection. You don't need to be perfect to succeed. One chocolate egg doesn't cause weight gain. Consistent habits do. And the second mind shift is you can enjoy yourself and stay on track. It's not about avoiding Easter or any other event or special occasion for that matter. It's about learning how to include it in your life in a more balanced way. And some daily habits that can make a big difference is really staying hydrated so you don't confuse thirst for hunger, prioritizing sleep so you're less tired and more likely to make better choices, and really not skipping meals and eating regularly to avoid that extreme hunger. So that's a really important part of it, that not skipping meals. So eating those regular meals, still trying to reach your daily protein goals, and avoid the saving calories sort of mentality where you go, oh, I'm not going to have breakfast because I'm going to have a big lunch. Because if we deprive ourselves in the earlier part of the day, you are more likely to get overly hungry and eat more than planned. And Starting with a nutritious, balanced breakfast means blood sugar is more stable and we may be better able to make those healthier choices. So arriving at a social occasion genuinely hungry is one of the most reliable predictors of eating significantly more than intended. It's a physiological state that makes considered food choices harder for everyone. So not just when you're trying to lose weight, but really just in general. Eating a protein-containing snack or light meal before a long lunch or a heavy chocolate gathering shifts the experience considerably, and you're making choices from a more regulated state rather than a state of energy depletion where you just want that quick energy hit. So building a balanced meal is key, as when most overeating happens when we arrive hungry. So a simple plate guide consists of half a plate of non-starchy veggies, quarter of that protein source, a quarter of carbs and some healthy fats. And really why this works is because that protein and fiber creates fullness, and it really reduces the sugar cravings later on. What you can also do is, if there's a range of plates offered, like plate size, side plate, big plate, you can choose a smaller option and avoid overfilling if you're wanting to make more considered choices. And there's always a temptation for seconds. After finishing your first plate, wait 10 minutes and you'll most likely find you're feeling satisfied and a second plate is no longer enticing after you've waited a little while. So instead of aiming for perfection, aim for that consistency. And really aim for 80% of nourishing foods and 20% of enjoyment foods. It's a more realistic, sustainable approach and not overly restrictive. So think, and the person who spoke about avoiding chocolate, it doesn't have to be chocolate, but whatever it is that you feel, it could be bread or crackers or dessert or other things that may be the things that usually are more problematic for you. So really just being a bit more considered. So really think about setting your intention and maybe sit yourself somewhere quiet before a meal or a gathering and say to yourself, today is about enjoyment, connection, and balance. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be intentional. And really ask yourself, how do I want to feel after today? Do I want to feel light, proud, satisfied, not stuffed, not heavy? What matters more, every bite or the overall experience? And then maybe taking 5, so you might not want to be doing this at the table in front of everyone, but 5 slow breaths, like an inhale, calm, exhale, control. It just sort of sets a more relaxed state of being before the chaos. And having a pre-event strategy is also a good idea. So really visualize the environment beforehand, the chocolates, the big meals, the social pressure, and think to yourself, I can enjoy all the foods, but I choose how much and when. So you feel like you have a bit of control there. You can choose how much and you can choose when. And you can choose to say, no, thank you, I might have some later as well. So just a few things that you can actually just say to yourself in the moment, and not just completely deny yourself, but maybe put it off and see, does it feel like it?
Good, how are you?
Sorry, if you can just mute yourself. So some smart chocolate strategies include being selective. So choose your favorites, skip the just because foods, and ask yourselves, is it worth it? If yes, just enjoy it. If not, skip it. So really choose more intentionally. Don't just have whatever is available. Really, the darker the chocolate, the better. And this means increased antioxidants and health compounds like polyphenols, but it also means it's richer and more bitter, so we're less likely to overconsume it. So I usually aim for about 70 to 85%. Not everyone likes that. But make sure you flip a packet over before you buy if you are going out and buying chocolate. In a higher quality dark chocolate, cocoa should be the first in the ingredient list, not sugar. So a higher quality dark chocolate might have its ingredients listed as cocoa mass, cocoa powder, cocoa butter, and then sugar, and then maybe vanilla or lecithin or something. A lower quality dark chocolate might list sugar first, then the cocoa mass, then cocoa butter, then emulsifiers, flavors, milk solids, whatever it happens to be. So if sugar is listed first, it means that that's the largest ingredient by weight. So just to be aware of that. Another tip is really to avoid that all or nothing thinking, like one chocolate has ruined the entire day or long weekend, so I may as well just continue, and there's no point, being more selective. And then really that portion awareness can also be helpful. Maybe put the chocolate on a plate instead of eating straight from the packet, or just take one instead of a whole handful. And next, avoid mindless eating, because chocolate is easy to overeat because it melts and it doesn't involve lots of chewing. So ideally you can have a small portion rather than grazing on it all day long. So sip, taste, savor and enjoy. Try not to be too distracted as you're eating. If it's visible, you'll eat more. So environment matters more than willpower. So try to keep it out of sight. Don't stockpile heaps of treats in your own home, and give it away or get rid of any leftover chocolate. So make the decision. Pick one or two worth it treats, your favorite chocolate or dessert, and make eating slowly, stopping when fully satisfied, not when full, and no mindless grazing your non-negotiables. Also, if you eat chocolate after a balanced meal, like for dessert instead of on an empty stomach, you won't be as hungry and potentially you won't eat as much. So in addition, you avoid that blood sugar spike and the increased insulin that follows, which is a fat storage hormone. And remember, the real fun of Easter chocolate is the enjoyment of sharing it. And the same goes for hot cross buns. Add some Greek yogurt, peanut butter, and raspberries on top so it will be more filling. And the protein and healthy fat also helps slow down the absorption and insulin spikes. And try to set yourself a limit of half or one hot cross bun. Don't try to get through the whole bag just because it's there. So another strategy is to slow down. So eat mindfully, sitting down to eat, enjoy and savor every bite. Put your knife and fork down between mouthfuls so you're not just sort of shoveling it in. It allows your body to your brain to sort of catch up to what your stomach is doing. And importantly, chew really thoroughly. When you slow down, you enjoy your food more and usually eat less. It allows for better digestion, reduced stress, increased enjoyment of the meal, and the ability to better notice hunger and fullness cues. So planning can be very effective. If you know what you're doing or where you're going, you can look at menus if you're going out and decide on your meal in advance. You can take healthy options if you're going to someone else's home, or have lots of healthy options if you're hosting. So planning ahead really removes decision fatigue, especially during what can sometimes be a stressful time for some. And this helps you stay more in control. And also try to avoid the common thought of, it's Easter, I'll start again next week. Try to reframe this thinking into, what's one small positive healthy choice I can make right now? Really focus on one good decision at a time. Really managing any social pressure or people who insist you have more. Just say a polite, no thank you, I'm full, or maybe later, or no thank you, I might have some later, like the Weight Watchers lady suggested. So you don't need to explain your choices. Simple responses often work best, and people should respect that anyway. So the other part of, having time off and everything is staying active is still important. So a walk after meals, maybe try to make it social and recruit friends and family to join you if you have people around. Keep routines simple, but make sure you move daily. And it's not really about burning calories. It's really about maintaining routine and feeling good. So there's no need for intense workouts. Just stay active, because movement really helps regulate appetite, energy, and mood. And of course, watch the liquid calories. Drinks add up quickly and often go unnoticed. So energy-dense beverages like soft drink, alcohol, juice, they really lack fiber and nutrients and make them less filling than solid food. So they really slide down really easily. and they don't really trigger those satiety signals that you might get from food. So they often lead to excess daily calorie intake. And if you can't completely avoid them, maybe just try to have one, or to alternate with some sparkling water, so you're not just having drink after drink after drink. And make sure to check in with yourself. Am I hungry or thirsty or just bored or emotional? These questions can create more awareness and hopefully prevent any unnecessary eating and drinking. Before eating anything, ask, am I physically hungry or just tempted? You can rate your hunger from 1 to 10. If it's 1 to 3, you're starving, eat properly, have a proper meal. If it's 4 to 6, moderate, eat a balanced meal. 7 to 10, not hungry, pause, think about maybe later, or just go light and have something really light. You don't need to eat just because the food is there. And this is an important one, the craving pause. This is like a critical moment, really, because everyone gets cravings occasionally for certain things, or all the time, and maybe there's certain triggers that set off those cravings or certain times of the day. But this is when going for seconds for more chocolate or grazing usually starts. Craving is not a command. It will pass. It's sort of something that comes in, you just get that craving. But if you try and use the 10-minute rule, so you wait 10 minutes before going back for more or grabbing that chocolate or starting that grazing, you can try to drink some water. You can talk to someone as a bit of a distraction. If you step away from the food, and if you still want it after the 10 minutes have passed, have it deliberately, not impulsively. You've had to think about it and you've thought, no, I still want it, then just have it. And this leads to treat enjoyment and the no guilt zone. So no guilt, you just have it. You're choosing your planned treat and you're allowed to enjoy it fully. And some rules that may be helpful, as I've mentioned before, again, is to sit down while eating, no distractions like scrolling on your phone or sitting in front of TV, because that just helps make things a little bit more mindless. And you don't notice how much you've had until sometimes you're down to the end of the pack and gone, oh my gosh, I can't believe I ate that whole thing. Or and no, I shouldn't be eating this thoughts. Like really just go, I've done it, it's done, I've enjoyed it, and focus on the texture, the taste, the satisfaction. And if you notice the enjoyment dropping, this is the key moment where you check in again and you say, where am I on that fullness scale of 1 to 10? And the goal is really when you're about 6 or 7, you're comfortably satisfied. So you're not over full, but you're satisfied enough. You can always have more later if you feel like it, but you don't need it in that moment. And then it's really important to also close that loop. So end the experience intentionally. So think that was enough, I'm done. And some helpful actions that might actually help you stay done is maybe to brush your teeth or chew some gum or move away from the food or go for a short walk to reset and really just change the environment as well. So what if you do overeat? So deviating from routine isn't a cause for guilt or self-punishment. Remember, food is sometimes more than calories. It fosters connections. It brings people together through shared experiences. So there's no need to overcompensate after a day or a meal of indulgence. Between these occasions, really continue your meal pattern as normal as it can possibly be in those few days. Allowing for some indulgence, but not overindulgence, ensures you limit any gains, and just aim to get back on track by resuming your usual routine as soon as possible. Make sure you hydrate, continue to eat balanced meals, and move your body. So a simple reset is all that's needed. Just get back on track with your next meal. One meal doesn't matter, your next choice does. So the return to normal routine after Easter tends to be easier than people expect. So particularly if the 4 days have not been accompanied by significant guilt and shame, your body adapts quickly when structure and normality returns. Routine eating, regular movement, and adequate sleep are more beneficial than any attempt at compensating for any modest weight gain. And they do it more sustainably as well. So If after Easter you want to reflect for future success, you can sort of briefly think about what went well, what you could repeat next time, what you might want to avoid next time. So really the key takeaways are planning ahead, being mindful, staying consistent, enjoying without the guilt, and really you're not avoiding food, you're choosing more intentionally. And one day doesn't cause that weight gain, the consistent patterns do. And enjoyment and control can coexist. So to wrap it up, don't deprive yourself completely, set a limit and stick to it. So just have an idea in your head of what you're going to do. If you go off track, so be it. You move on and tomorrow's another day. But make the most of the time you have off if you have it. Give yourself permission to enjoy Easter and still move toward your goal of feeling in control to make more conscious health decisions. And finding a balance between health goals and Easter joy is achievable. You can relish this time of year while staying committed to your well-being. So I ask you, what is one simple action you will try to use to stay on track this Easter?